I'm the worst at that. It's Friday, though. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, you know Calvin Harris. Do you know who Calvin Harris is?
The name is very familiar.
He's a disc jockey.
Oh, I don't know who he is.
But he's not a disc jockey like David Mueller. He's a disc jockey that is a cool disc jockey.
Oh, he's spinning the ones in the twos
he's like
and the
Diplo?
threes and the fours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a club DJ.
Yeah, he's like the most prolific club DJ, I
He
guess.
probably spins a little gaga.
He did a residency in Vegas, which is like, I don't know, 7 to 10 nights or something like that. You know how much money he made last year? Most of it coming from that residency in Vegas. The foundation of it. $48 million running a software program.
Wow, that's
music
pretty good.
music nerd up on a stage going, "Oh, the party people!" That's all he does, right?
I don't know a lot about these DJs, but I think they make their own mixes on a computer.
Cool, good for them. But
But
anybody
wait a second.
do that?
This
Can't
is what you
anybody
and
do
I
that?
used to do when we started doing this business. I remember when we got into this business, they were kind of going from the reel-to-reel tape machines, which is those big reels that you see and the tape ran down and so on, into computers. And I remember Jeff and I sitting in the studio, we would play with stuff on this computer, and you could put different tracks. There was like 16 tracks, and you could play 16 things at once, or you could slide it so they would kind of overlap or whatever. And we would spend hours and hours at the radio station, the college station, playing with this thing. And you're telling me this guy, this is what he does for a living?
I just made this right now.
Remember when you make these on those little keyboards?
While you're talking about it. Check it out, yo. I'm doing
Did you
this.
have one of those keyboards?
Yeah, Casio.
Yeah, Casio.
Now
I never had the Casio. That was too big bucks.
Now I'm making it on my daughters. It's got like a drumming rabbit and a turtle that sings into a microphone. What up, people?
Here we go. We're going to drop in another beat here. Come on. Come on. How much does this guy make?
$48 million.
Being a DJ, really. Now I know why it's so popular.
Yes.
Why does Matt do? Why doesn't Matt put his guitar away and get a Casio?
What the funny thing about this is he's a DJ, and I think he grabbed Taylor Swift's ass because he dated her. Like, he didn't get sued for $1 for grabbing Taylor Swift's ass.
This guy dated Taylor Swift?
Yes.
God, David Mueller must hate this guy.
Probably why he made $48 million. David Mueller made $0 last year. As a disc jockey, at least. I don't know. As like a Home Depot rep. I don't know.
The guy that gets those big oversized orange carts that take lumber out to your car and bring them back in. That pays. It's a job.
Where David Mueller takes your lumber out at Home Depot. Do you walk between him and your wife if you're walking out to the...
Yeah, if you're a friend of David Mueller's, do you ever let your wife or girlfriend or daughter or anyone around this guy?
No.
Like, David, I'm needing to see your hands at all times, all right? Keep them up.
The sad thing about it is, because of all the success, fame, and fortune that Calvin Harris has, he's probably more dangerous around your daughter or your wife than...
What's he go by the way? DJ what? DJ...
No, that's his name, Calvin Harris.
DJ Calvin Harris?
Yes, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, a mad respect. Didn't change his name to DJ Falafel or anything?
He doesn't go by Jackson and Rhino in the morning. Tell you that much.
DJ Fruitcake? Well, that's good. Mad respect to him.
Mad respect?
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. If I could do this, look at this.
You can.
Drop it like it's hot.
That's my argument. You can do this, okay?
This is what these guys do, I believe. They sit in their studio that they have, which is their MacBook, and they make these beats, and then they play them at a club, and everybody comes. And then you get a name, and then all of a sudden you're getting tons of money for playing. I don't know what kind of... He must be playing more than bars and clubs. I mean, he's got to be... I'm like, these guys... To make that kind of money, that's like serious, like rock and roll band, like rock band.
I know.
Money. I mean, that's like. Does he have a residency in Vegas?
It's possible that he made more money than Bono last year. Okay, isn't that ridiculous?
What was the number again?
$48 million.
Wow.
He's just a nerd that sits at a computer and then jumps up there with his MacBook. He goes, "Hey, yeah, I'm here to do." Like, anybody can walk up to me and say, "Hey, man, I'm Calvin Harris." As long as they got a laptop in their hand, I'd be like, "Cool, man. Go ahead, that's what I want to do. I want to be an imposter, okay? I want to steal one of these DJs' gigs."
Well, you look like that one guy.
I do look like Diplo. I could totally pull off the Diplo thing. But he's got so much attention now because James Vanderbeek is playing him in some kind of online series.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Real quick. You said this dude made $48,000 last year? $48 million. I'm sorry, $48 million. He made more than Judge Judy, and we all know Judge Judy's baller. She only made $47 million last year. I mean, she's worth more because she's been doing it longer, but he made more than Judge Judy. That's baller status.
Well, it's like one of those things where you work a year and you're like...
doing this.
Yeah, I my laptop. What else am I going to do?
Is this
No.
Sean Harris? No, Calvin Harris.
This is some guy that's only hopes to be Calvin.
Oh, I thought we were listening to Calvin Harris.
This is Mirko Vogel.
Yeah, this guy doesn't make crap. All right, I'm going to go listen to some Calvin Harris. Maybe I'll get inspired to make $48 million.
How pathetic can some people be?
Since I got out of high school, I've been to 32 weddings. That's like 17 and a half miles of electric slide, folks. That is... I'm getting good. It's amazing, though, because after 32 weddings, I'm the only single guy left out of all of my friends. It's me. I'm the last man standing. It's like my buddies and I were in a war movie where we're storming a beach with machine gun nests, only instead of bullets, they're shooting rings. And I just had to watch them go down like, get down! No! You've only known her a month!
Dumbass of the day. 93.3 KZOZ.
The wedding disc jockey, right? That's a nice, trustable profession. Wedding disc jockey in Pennsylvania was arrested after the bride accused him of stealing cards containing cash during her reception.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure this happens more than you know.
Wait, you're an ex-wedding DJ. Why are you sure that this happens more than you know?
Sometimes you're sitting there, the bride pisses you off a little bit because she yells at you because you played the chicken dance because all of her family has to hear it. And then you're just looking over, and right next to the DJ booth is the gift table.
Oh, how happy is your happiest day, darling?
Oh, such a special day.
That's what Edwin McCarty asked the question of Ashley Karasek. She went to go get the collection box of cards that was, people were coming in. There's 120 people who came to her wedding. She went to go get the collection box the next morning after the event. And she went back to the venue, and the collection box was right there. There was 12 cards of 120 people that stopped by. And she says she saw throughout the evening many more than 12 people giving cards to both the disc jockey and putting them in the box. 12 was a very low number.
Shouldn't have counted on the disc jockey to handle that for you. So they were handing it to the disc jockey to put in the thing.
Well, sometimes people show up at a wedding, you don't know what to do, so you just go to somebody who's working the wedding and you go, hey, can I leave this with you? And the DJ's like, he's got one earphone over one ear and the other, he pulls off his earphones. He's like, and he holds his ear up to you and he's like, what would you say? Oh yeah, sure. I'll take it. And then he goes back to acting like he's working because everything's on a computer now and they don't really work that hard. Back in our day, well, we worked hard.
You had to worry about CD skipping, for God's sakes, and missing because somebody didn't put it back in the right jacket, in the right book.
Most of the evening, this guy was in possession of the box. She said she saw guests handing him the cards, putting the cards in the box. When she realized that a lot of cards were missing, because she called some friends. She's like, did you guys leave me a card? Which is an embarrassing call to have to make, right? You guys, I saw you guys at the wedding last night. Did you guys leave me a card? They're like, yeah, we gave it to the disc jockey.
Oh.
Okay, because I never got a card from you. Let me call some other people. She called like 3 or 4 people, and then she realized, okay, this jockey's taking some cards. He confessed to stealing them because he's got financial struggles. That's what the police said in an affidavit. He told investigators that he stole about $600. But then she went back and she actually started doing some inventory on herself. She's like, oh, I hate to ask this, which is even a more embarrassing call to have to make.
You just say, hey, the DJ robbed me, and I'm trying to figure this out.
How much did you give me? So her math says, this is a he said, she said situation. Her math says that it was more like $3,500.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
yeah, he's lying.
Totally lying.
Yeah,
right?
he's lying. Yeah. $3,500.
So you got David.
But if somebody called me and said, yeah, how much did you give me? And I'm like, I gave him like $50. $100? Yeah, I gave you $100.
Wait, you're saying the DJ took it?
Yeah, it was $100.
I actually gave you $500.
Nobody's going to believe that.
I really wanted you guys to have
myself.
a good honeymoon.
Yeah. What a schmuck.
This is why you use services like what you use for your wedding and what I use for my wedding, that honeymoon
registry.
Registry, if you're going to give cash.
Yeah.
I mean, but here's the thing is that website is kind of like the disc jockey because they take a percentage of what they're giving you.
It's like 2% or something.
Yeah.
It's very small.
It's not $3,500.
The ironic thing about this story is, and I don't know how ironic it is, but at my wedding, everybody went to that honeymoon registry except for just a few people. And I told the DJ that I had hired that night that we would pay him that night, and we forgot to go get cash. So we're just ripping through envelopes up in the room while he's down there doing all his DJing, and I'm just going, all right, dude, we
got it.
I need $25 more. All right. And then I'm like, don't have it. I'm like, I can't believe we're $25 short. So, Mom, you got $25.
Go clean out the ashtray in the car.
And the thing is, the jackass, I work with him, so I don't know why.
You could have paid him.
He thought he was going to get away with it, like me. Yeah, I was going to get away with not paying him or something.
Congratulations, Edward McCarty. You're giving all the wedding DJs a bad name, and they're being replaced by computers, for God's sakes. You're going to be the reason for the robot revolution. People are just plugging their phones in at the wedding reception now.
The iPod wedding makes all wedding DJs' stomachs turn.
Yes. What? You mean nobody's going to be there to run the computer for you? I hope you don't have any problems. You're Jeff and Jeremy's
Dumbass of the Day. It's Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KZOZ.
We can't just bash this guy for stealing the money and not talk about what we did.
I know, because when I read the story this morning, I was thinking, thank God we didn't get caught we didn't get busted for doing what we did because it was terrible. It wasn't.
I don't think it wasn't this bad. It wasn't.
We didn't
this bad.
steal money.
We stole beer.
Yeah.
And food. So we get asked to do this wedding, and we go DJ it, and everything's great. And then everybody just leaves around, 11:30. And so we kind of pack up all our gear, load it into our van, and we still have the hall. And there's a full
They have the ESB
kegerator right there.
Which I have a weak spot in my heart for the ESB. And now they push the IPA, and that's great. But the Red Hook ESB was the DBA before the DBA even came along. It was the OG, and it was the Red Hook Extra Special Bitter, and they had a keg of it there. Now, we were in college. We were used to drinking things like Natural Light, Natural Ice, and Bush beer.
Bush Light.
Bush and Bush Light.
Yeah, Bush and Bush Light.
So we're like, whenever
maybe a Keystone if you had a big day.
If you could ever get your hands on a good quality craft beer, you took advantage of it. And they had a keg of Red Hook ESB standing over there in the corner, and it was almost like the venue that we did the wedding reception at. It had these, those windows that, it had big bay windows that overlooked like this little valley. But then above those bay windows, they had more windows that were like triangles,
right?
Where the roof came to an arch,
yeah.
And the moonlight was coming in those big bay windows and shining down right there on the handle of the Red Hook ESB.
It was beautiful,
and we were like, well, we gotta, let's have a beer while we're packing up. Well, one beer turns into two beers. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what took place. Turns into 4 beers, which turns into 8 beers, which turns into a lot.
Well, we were just going to have a couple of beers, and I remember sitting there with our backs against the wall, on the floor, feet kicked out, drinking the beer. Like, I think we'll get another one.
The moonlight still shining through this big bay window.
Sometime around 2-3 o'clock in the morning, we're like, are you hungry? Yeah. Let's see what they got in the fridge. And they had some sort of pasta dish that had these shells that were stuffed. I don't remember. And we had just enough beer to where we're like, man, this is pretty good. So we ate that.
Went into
we
the
drank
kitchen,
more beer.
used the microwave. I mean, like, this is like we took over the venue. Like, we started eating their food. We started drinking their beer.
And I'm like, dude, look at all this champagne in here. Let's load a couple of those in the van, and let's take the rest of this pan of pasta home. The funny thing is, the next year, their other daughter got married.
Yes.
And they
hired
called us and hired us again. But this time...
We were like, man, we must have knocked it out of the park with that wedding we did last year.
I think we did, but this time they had two people stay around and close up after we left. And so we were like, ooh, look at this.
In fact, we even looked at each other. We were like, hey, this is the same family. Maybe we get that beer food deal again this year. And then we're like, hey, we'll just go ahead and close up. It's cool. And they're like, no, we're going to stick around. Because you took all our food and beer last year.
All right, I'm glad I got that off my chest.
I know.
Let me ask you this. A landscaper, a plumber, or like a TV, like cable satellite guy, who do you least trust the most? Landscaper, a plumber, or the cable guy?
I think only because the situation in which you would be put in, the one that could have the best opportunity to have you on the take if they're going to steal something from you is the landscaper, because you would be like, well, I'm going to be at work today. Can you just do it? Because it's outside of the house.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Steal some lawn furniture?
Well, who knows? Whatever. If you keep anything out in your yard, then they could take it, and you would not have any way to prove it.
So,
whereas usually when the cable guy is there or the plumber is there, you're there as well.
You come home, the grass is all mowed, the hedges are trimmed, and your daughter's playhouse is missing.
Yes.
You call them up like, God, I swear that playhouse was there this morning. You know anything about this?
Did you guys see a playhouse by chance? Because it just went away.
Rick's on the phone. What happened to you, Rick?
Well, it actually happened to my uncle back about 1974. We were going over to Hawaii to see him, and he had bought a 57 Porsche, and they shipped it from like Long Beach over to Hawaii, and in transit, somebody was able to open up and steal the carburetor.
The carburetor?
Yeah, out of the car. Just, and so when he got it, when you're talking so many years, that it took him years to find the right carburetor to fix it. I remember how devastated he was when it got there.
It's so weird.
Because you go to drive it home, and you're like,
wait a second, there's no carburetor.
This thing's not working like it usually does.
I just don't
pop the hood, you're like, well, that's why. There's no carburetor.
Yeah, they must be expensive in a Porsche.
Well, you said it was a 57 Porsche?
Right.
Yeah, so.
I mean, it was a real, it was a classic. It was starting to be, and now it's a classic. But it was so devastating that the whole family, I just remember how mad he was, and that was pretty interesting. Here you are, you give your car to an organization to ship it across from Long Beach to Hawaii.
Right. So let me ask you this:
1976, it's not like you could just go online and look for a carburetor for a 57 Porsche.
Yeah. Did he ever get another carburetor? I mean, was he ever able to drive it after this?
Absolutely, but it was probably 2 or 3 years later.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting. Hey, just so you know, I'm the guy that can never win from you guys because you always do your promotions after 7 o'clock, and a lot of us go to work at 7.
Oh, you're not the only one that bitches about that. Okay.
I just thought I'd throw my...
Hey, you know what? You know what? Do you want to go to see the Doobie Brothers?
Absolutely. I saw them when I was in Hawaii in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, you had to walk to the concert because your uncle couldn't give you a ride.
That's right.
Well, Rick, I've got 2 tickets. I'll give them to you right now. We appreciate you listening.
All right. You guys take care.
Wait, where are you going?
Hold on.
I know.
We got to get some information.
Take care.
All right. We got to get some information. He's got to get to work in 9 minutes.
I know he's busy. All right. Hold on. What?
One last thing.
One last thing.
Semper Fi to all the Marines and all the military out there.
Oh, there you go.
All right. There you go. Thank you, Rick. Hold on the line.
That's a really good message.
Respect.
Right there.
93.3 KZOZ rocks Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Got an update on the truck. My truck was damaged a week ago today. It was damaged when somebody hit it, did a hit and run.
Why Magnum PI?
This isn't Magnum PI. This is LA law. God, I wish you could get your TV shows down. It's embarrassing.
It is. It's such an embarrassment that I don't know TV theme songs. My wife just can't take me anywhere.
Well, I would be embarrassed. But anyway. So I've been doing an investigation all week, and a lot of you have probably already heard that, so I don't want to bore you with all the details again. But I went to 3 places last Friday. I bought my truck after leasing it for 3 years. Went to the bank, the camera. There was a pillar blocking where my truck was parked.
I don't want to bore you with all the details, but here they are.
Well, this is the Reader's Digest version, Jeff. I'm not going through everything that I've gone through. Let me get through this, all right? Then I went to Target so my wife could buy one of these Apple Watches. We were there 10 minutes, and then I went to the car wash, and then I went home. And the next day I saw there was a big dent and scratch on the front of my truck. It was on the if you could picture the front of a hood into the right, the passenger side fender.
So Jeff comes in here yesterday, and he says, file a hit and run, since you don't know.
Yeah, so he said, go to the police department. So I did that. I went to Slow PD. They were very accommodating. It didn't take very long at all. I thought I would just go in and talk to somebody, and I would file a report. No, you start that, and then they say, all right, we're going to send an officer out. Then an officer actually has to come. He gives you a case number, and he looks at the damage. He walks right up to the truck. He goes, oh, looks like a bicyclist ran into you. I'm like, of course that's what it is. We are so stumped. I should put these pictures, by the way. I should put this picture on our Facebook page so people can see it.
Son of a bitch.
It was a bicyclist. And then guess what? And then, okay, so I'm like, okay, wow. Okay, so this totally makes sense. So
it's got to be what it is.
Right. Because
handlebars are high enough to...
I was over at my friend's house on Lincoln Street in San Luis Obispo.
Oh, yeah. And they're talking about shutting down that whole side of town and making it a damn bicycle lane. You know this?
Yes.
They're talking about
because
literally closing off roads that cars travel on now to make them a bicycle lane.
I'm visiting my friend. We're going to go have lunch downtown, and we're going to take one car instead of 2 because of parking. So I park it there next to a sidewalk on a side street to Lincoln. And I didn't see it. This happened Thursday afternoon, and I just didn't notice it until Saturday.
That's exactly what happened.
And so guess what? I get home, and the sun's hitting my truck. It's just the angle. And there's a big palm print right past the scratch.
Yep.
I haven't washed the truck.
Wow.
Goosebumps. Can I get... Do I even call... Do I go back to Slow PD and say, hey, listen, I got a big palm print right here from right after this guy hit my truck. He put his hand down to brace himself.
No, because bicyclists don't have fingerprints on record. They're not felons.
Well, you don't know. This guy probably could be a felon. He could have got a DUI, and that's why he's riding his bike. I don't know.
That's a good point. Right there.
I mean, but is it taking it too far? If I go back to the Costco, can we get a detective out here to do lift this print and run it in your system and see if
this speaks volumes to the level.
I want to stick it to this guy though.
The level of entitlement that bicyclists have. This is totally something.
So you're gonna fire me up.
This is something that a bicyclist would do. I've seen it happen before. I've seen them run into a car like what happened to you, and be like, oh, and then just move on and not even do inventory. Like, I guess I'm a crappy bike rider.
I'm going to see if I can get JW on the line and see what he thinks.
JW.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's highway patrol, but he's a police officer. He can at least give me some, are these guys going to roll their eyes at me? I don't want to make an ass out of myself over this, all right? I've already got the insurance to take care of it.
What if the police officer just says, here's your $250, and we'll pay your deductible. We don't want to file the paperwork.
No, that's not the point. I don't even care about the money. I honestly, I don't know. It just drives me nuts.
Yeah, bicyclists got away with this because that is the thing that pisses me off the most, because the entitlement, the level of entitlement that they receive, especially within San Luis Obispo County city limits, is enough to make your blood boil. But to know that they are doing damage to vehicles and then just taking off, something needs to be done. It's right up there with the homeless problem in San Luis Obispo city limits. I ever tell you the story about the time my wife at her job, they had somebody coming in to do some work. It was a guest. She used to work for the other radio station group in town that is no longer here. And so they were coming in to record
record something.
Some kind of segment or something. And a bicyclist thought that lady cut her off, so he chased her down and then kicked her window in and called her a bitch, and then took off on his bicycle. And she was scared, and she was an old lady. She was, she's like, I got to call. She walked into her work, and I got to call the police. And she like looked like she's seen a ghost. And they're like, "Is everything okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. But a guy just kicked my window in."
Wow.
Bicyclist.
Like what? Like the passenger door window or something?
The level of
That's crazy. That takes a pretty good kick.
the level of leeway that we give them is beyond comprehension.
Right. Yeah, I was driving down 227 the other day, right there at by the airport. What's that road called?
Oh, I want you to pursue this, Buckley.
And the guy blew right through the stop sign on red.
I want you to pursue this only because there's a bicyclist that's involved, because that's got to be what it is. And
I'm going to go back down there today.
If you could get some prints lifted,
I'm going to see if I can get some prints lifted.
and
I'm going to take him to court. I'm going to take his ass to court. It's probably going to be a pain in my ass. But at the end of the day,
it's going to be.
At the end of the day,
but you're fighting for the greater good.
Is this
and
bad
that
karma,
is to
though?
put bicyclists in their place in San Luis Obispo County.
I got the photos uploaded now. Hopefully, I haven't refreshed the page
I'm
yet.
so angry that this
here
is
they
a
are.
bicyclist.
Okay, so
Oh, and you got good prints too.
yeah, okay. I zoomed in on it. I mean, you can really see that now. The sun's shining right on it.
That's
So
not- is that a possibility? Like the police officer when you were filing the police report, he didn't like lean his hand up.
no,
on
I was with him the whole time. He was in front of my truck because he had to read the license plate into dispatch, and he never touched the truck. I never touched the truck. So I
My
know,
question is-
and then I actually recreated it. You can see where the handprint goes right over the top, like if you jammed it and you went,
you need to catch yourself on something stable,
Right,
like the
son
truck,
of a gun.
the truck that you just did damage to.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's the pictures right there. They're
That is
online.
that's totally a bicycle. Oh, what a!
I hope the
dick.
person is listening right now that hit my black truck
'Cause we're
over
coming
by
for you.
Lincoln.
We're coming
'Cause
for you.
I am tracking. I am on your heels, brother.
Bad boys,
I got the
bad
bloodhounds
boys.
on you.
What you gonna do,
What you gonna do when Jeremy's coming for you?
Becky? Oh my God! Look at her butt. Good morning.
Becky.
Oh, hello. Sorry.
Hi, Becky. How are you?
Fine.
Sorry, I tried to do a Sir Mix-a-Lot intro for you.
No, I was just saying that I think you should pursue it just simply because of personal responsibility.
Right.
They did damage to your vehicle. Years ago, I used to work in downtown San Luis, and I used to park over, what is it, like Peach Street or one of those streets away from downtown. Came out after work, and my truck was hit. And there was a note on it, and the note said, "I'm only writing this because people are watching me."
They actually wrote that?
Yes, and luckily though, it was by an apartment building, and when I came out after work, somebody came out and told me, did they write their name on the note? And I showed them the note, and they pointed out where the apartment he was visiting or where he lived. They were like, we had a feeling he wasn't going to do it. So,
well, it's a good thing there was people around.
yeah, it was a good thing there was, but it's just simple, I go back and forth on the issue with the bicyclist, but it's more of the personal responsibility. You did damage to somebody's property, so
Right.
fess up and do something about it.
Do the right thing. You know that you did damage
Thank
to
you,
Jeremy's
Becky.
truck, bicyclist, because you caught yourself with your hand on his truck. We have the photos right there. Just step up and say, "Hey, I'm sorry," okay? And maybe Jeremy would even be generous and be like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Insurance will take care of it. We'll call it a hit and run." No, don't do it now. Don't do it now. But if they would have left you a note, maybe
Yeah.
you would have been more,
Something.
compelled to do
Yeah.
so.
I understand it happens. Maybe it was a kid. I don't know. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Those aren't kid hands.
No.
Yeah, you know what? That sucks. They hit your car, man.
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen.
Bicyclist?
And, they actually gave the bicyclist a ticket, and I asked them how are they going to fix my truck, And they're like, "Oh, they don't have no insurance, and you got to take them to civil court."
Which is a big pain in the ass. And that's the thing. If another car would have hit you, they probably would have fessed up because they know that insurance takes care of it. But bicyclists?
Yeah, the bicyclist guy, they should have.
You can't say that F word, okay?
But
I know you're mad, but you can't say that.
I appreciate your passion for this, sir.
He's
I
more
do
mad
appreciate
than I am.
Because
Dropped an F-bomb. I love
because
it.
that's the level of accountability on a bicyclist is zero. Yet we still give them more entitlements, like
Right.
closing down entire streets for them and changing stop sign schematics into town so they could ride their bicycle, as if the green lane's not enough.
This guy was actually riding on the sidewalk, which is, you're not supposed to do that. because he had to be because I was parked up against the sidewalk.
You're not supposed to do it, Jeremy, but if it's convenient to the bicyclist, they will go ahead and take advantage of
All
it.
right, I'm gonna
just like running through that stop sign that they're supposed to stop
I'm
at.
going to call the officer that took the report yesterday. I'm going to
Do
say,
it.
hey, I found a legitimate handprint on my truck.
This could go a long ways in our fight against bicyclists.
All right. Hi, go ahead.
The scourge on society. Hello?
Are you there?
Yeah, you guys are talking about the bicycles.
Yes.
How about Price Canyon? They redid that whole road all for bicycles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a bit of it was for traffic.
No, well, you know what, though? Do you drive Price Canyon a lot? I mean, you see bicyclists on that road. It gives me anxiety when I pass them. I use that road quite a bit, and I'm actually, I know it's a pain in the ass and it's a lot of money, but I'm glad that they're doing this just because.
But see, the thing that pisses me off about the bicyclist, the entitled bicyclist, is they will take that widened shoulder, whatever it is, whatever the luxury we've given them,
right?
And
the bike lane,
and they will ride as far to the left as they possibly can
on the white line.
Yeah, on the white line.
I have a buddy who has mirrors that if you hit a button, they extend out. Like if you're pulling a big trailer, just knock them over.
Be like, oh, sorry, I don't have insurance, just like you.
I always thought somebody backed into me or somebody had something in the back of their truck that hit the truck because it hit it on the top of the fender in the hood, not down low, or if it was contact with another vehicle,
it
would have had
flat bed with some metal pipes on it or something.
Right.
But no, it was just handlebars from a bicycle.
Slow PD, they must run into this all the time. He looks right at it and goes, "Oh yeah, that was a bicycle."
Maybe that's why.
By a bicycle.
Maybe that's why they're thinking about shutting down that side of town where it happened and making it a bike lane because they can't do anything to control the rogue bicyclists over there. So what they'll do is just say, well, you know what? We're going to wave the white flag and give you your own damn lane because you're causing too much damage on this street with the trucks that are parking here and going to lunch.
Hi, thanks for hanging on. Go ahead.
Good morning. I would definitely call the cops and see if they can print that. But you got to think at some point, maybe this whole thing is just karma coming back around. There was probably a point in your life, maybe in high school, where you opened your door a little too hard, you put a little door ding in somebody's car.
Hey, I'm not perfect.
Hey, you didn't say anything about it.
All right, maybe I should just let it go.
No, don't. Oh, and the only reason I don't want you to let it go is because it's the bicyclists. Like, the bicyclists need to be sent a message, okay? Like, Becky called in. She's like, it's not about bicyclists. It's about personal responsibility. Yes, it is about personal responsibility. But when you elevate it to the bicycle level, the bicyclists don't feel they have any personal responsibility because we have granted them some special power to where they could just violate every rule of the road if they want to, and nobody could do anything about it. Like that man that called up earlier that was so upset. He said they don't have insurance, so there's nothing that they have to do about it. Like, if I was the governor...
that means it has to come out of their own pocket. Just because you don't have insurance doesn't mean that you don't have to pay for it.
Okay, we can get blood from a stone. They're riding a bicycle. They're not driving a car. You know, I mean, they'll just say, well, good luck getting the money from
you. Could be a CEO of a company. He just is one of these health nuts that likes to ride a bike and work every day.
What I'm saying is this state needs to do with bicyclists, since it's so damn bicycle friendly, and we always deal with budget deficits. License bicycles. Require bicyclists to be licensed, okay? That doesn't have to be much. It'd be $10, $15 a year. We license pets, right? You license bicycles, and then that way you have a traceable way back to the bicycle in case something like this happens.
If it's going to be operating or running on an actual street that is maintained by the city or the state, they should be licensed. That's not a bad deal.
You can't tell me that bicyclists don't account for hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage on the roadways of California every year, because they do cause accidents as well. And what happens when a bicyclist causes an accident? Are they on the hook? Probably not. The insurance companies end up taking the brunt of the load.
God, you're more fired up about this than I am.
Because it pisses me off because they're not responsible for anything. Like, they don't have to. That's what ride my bicycle. Oh, sorry, bro. I just blew a stop sign. Sorry, you almost got in an accident. Sorry, you almost killed me. Have a good day. I'm happy. I'm on my bicycle. I'm wearing suspension.
Deal with it.
It pisses me off.
Hi, you're on. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? This is Greg. I got to go back to work pretty quick, but I just wanted to let you know I thought this was kind of funny. It's kind of mean at the same time, but I'm from South Monterey County. Used to live my family's homestead, and we have cattle. And we would have to brand them. And so we have this pasture right there by the homestead piece, and we'd have to take them across a lone road, and that's the road where wildflower actually takes place. And we would deliberately schedule us branding the day of wildflower, and they would have to stop while we would move the cattle across the lone road.
Yes, that's not mean. That's not mean. You know what that is, Greg? Sending a friggin' message.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
I can't believe you are as calm as you are.
Well, I've been dealing with this for a week, so, the passion
is pissing me off, okay?
I was mad on Saturday. I was mad on Sunday.
You were mad because you thought you were wronged by something that, was you could go out and get. Now that you know it's a bicyclist.
I'm almost just happy I know it's a bicyclist now. I'm happy that I can back that evidence up with this big handprint that was maybe,
but
6 to 7 inches past
the bicyclist.
The dent and scratch.
Right now, the bicyclist probably listening to this radio show cracking up laughing.
Yeah, I'm coming for you, son of a bitch. I'm just letting you know right now. I am on my way. I'm gonna get your. I hope you never had your fingerprints taken.
He's like, yeah. What are you gonna do? What do you do? You can't catch me. I'm a bicyclist. I have no traceable accountability whatsoever. Stupid DJ with your big truck. It's exactly how it's going down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, big truck, gas. Hey, it's a flex fuel, dude.
He probably did it on purpose because he's on a bicycle and he saw it was a big truck. He's like, you know what? I feel like falling over on this sidewalk that I'm driving down, even though I'm not supposed to because I'm breaking the law.
It's driving me nuts. I can't get a hold of our buddy JW, who is a police officer, and I want to ask him, are they going to laugh at me if I show up over this to ask him to get a detective to do dust for prints?
Here you are, big man in a big truck, showing up to bitch about the measly, scrawny bicyclist that did you wrong by
How do you know? Maybe he's a big
fat
bicyclist. Maybe he was driving a big fat bike.
What, he was not a very good bicyclist.
All right, let's grab a call. Go. You're on the air.
Yeah, this is Rigo Diaz.
Hey, Rigo.
What's up, Rigo?
You know what I want to do? I want to get in my car and I want to drive backwards on the wrong side of the road and say, well, bicyclists are doing it. Why can't I do it?
Thanks for the laugh, buddy. All right, we're now just firing people up that don't like bicyclists, and I don't want to be responsible.
Are you kidding me?
I'm
all for that. What are you talking about? You don't want to be responsible for that. Something needs to be done. It's getting out of control.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KZOZ rocks.
So if you are one of these guys that likes to drink Monsters and Red Bulls and
energy drinks.
Rock Stars.
Who drinks Monsters?
Yeah. Monster energy drink. There's a lot,
a lot
of guys that drive big jacked up trucks, you'll see drinking Monsters.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's now a correlation between this and cocaine use. And there's a correlation between drinking these energy drinks and alcoholism, prescription drug abuse. And they're actually talking about making them where they're not available to people that are under the age of 21.
Really?
There's an organization that's trying to get that done. This study was done by the University of Maryland, and it showed a strong correlation between energy drinks, cocaine use, prescription drug use, and even alcohol abuse. So I guess if you're not drinking coffee, if that's how you get your caffeine in the morning or your
everybody
your boost,
I know that needs these has some kind of other vice in their life.
Like they smoke?
And this levels it out, essentially. Like I have a fair amount of friends that work in the construction trade. And they all...
Yeah, construction guys. Yeah,
they
you guys are big.
all drink Monster energy drink or a Rockstar.
I drink the stuff too. I like vodka with it.
My buddy drinks Rockstar.
Which I don't think is healthy.
My buddy is all about Rockstar. Like he came here once and he's like, oh, you guys don't have any AM PMs? I'm like, no. And he said,
yeah, we do.
Well, you do.
Oh, 5
You
cities.
want to drive 15 miles to go to an AM PM?
The pride of 5 cities.
And apparently,
Fourth Street.
The AM PMs where he's from, they do some kind of deal with Rockstar energy drinks where you get 2 for a really low price. He's like, dude, I need to get a Rock. Well, there's a Chevron right there. It's like, yeah, they charge like $4 for the Rockstars. Apparently, you get them like 2 for $3 or something.
They can do that because you're hooked on them.
And
does that mean they're addicting?
And he was like fiending for it. Now, keep in mind, this guy, he works in construction. He's actually a manager, is a foreman on the sites that he goes on. And afterwards, he goes out with his coworkers and they tie one Tuesday night. I call it the Tuesday night tie on. Like there's no school nights in Jason's repertoire. Okay, like he'll go out, stay out till 10:30. Need to be up at 4:00 in the morning the next morning to get out to a job site, and he'll be like, crack open one of those rock stars and down him.
And he's good to go.
And he's good to go after he drinks the rock.
It's like an alcoholic doing a line of coke.
And I'm like,
wow,
whoa, dude. Okay, all
just
right.
to bring him up.
It's amazing how that will bring you back, apparently. Or maybe it gives you the feeling that it brings him back. No problem. Like he goes to work, he's very high functioning. It's strange.
You ever try the White Monster?
No, I don't.
Lemon lime,
I don't do
absolute zero carb sugar.
Zero. I never have drinking an energy drink. That's not true. I've tried one when it was a free sample when Red Bull came out. I didn't like the way it tasted.
Yeah, this doesn't taste like that. This tastes like almost like a Fresca.
But I don't like the way people's mouths smell because I have a fair amount of friends that drink the energy drink, and your mouth smells terrible.
What's it smell like?
Terrible.
What's terrible mean?
Sweet poop is what it smells like.
Sweet crap.
Yes.
That's nice.
Sweet poop.
So make sure you bring your breath mints if you're drinking the Monster today.
The real problem is not, people that have addiction issues. It's the fact that your mouth smells
like a sewer.
Sweet poop.
93.3 KZOZ rocks. Now, back to Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Really excited yesterday. I met with a San Luis Obispo police officer, and he found out, he told me probably what happened to my truck, and he thinks that a bicyclist hit my truck. He goes, that's the damage. He goes, I see this all the time. We got our buddy Jeff Stolberg on the line, who comes in. He was in yesterday, and you got there we go. Bringing you in with a little Perry Mason theme this morning, Jeff.
Is that a compliment or is that a slap in the face?
Well, I like that. Well, Perry always won, but of course, his clients were always innocent, so that made life a little bit easier.
I'm sure yours are too. Jeff Stolberg joins us. StolbergLaw.com is his website. I wanted to get you on the phone and give you the update. So I got the police report done. Thank you for giving me the advice. Police officer came right out. He looked at it. He goes, oh, yeah, it looks like a bicyclist hit you. And then, Jeff, listen to this, Jeff. I get home, and the way the sun's hitting my truck, I see this big palm print just past where the bicyclist hit the truck, where the guy probably braced himself to, because he fell when he hit my truck. So now I got a palm print on my truck, and I'm thinking, I'm thinking about going down there and seeing if they can get a detective to come out and dust for some prints.
Crime scene investigation.
Are they going to laugh?
I don't know if they.
Are we being petty here?
Yeah, are they going to laugh at me if I ask for that? Will they tell me to get lost?
I don't know if they'll. I don't know if they'll laugh because you're a member of the community, but they might determine that it might be difficult to lift a good print off of there and to go through those resources. But I'm glad that you figured out what the likely cause of the damage was.
So we decided this morning because somebody brought up the fact that most of the time bicyclists don't have insurance, so that's probably why nothing was done, like a note left or stick around at the scene of the crime. He probably scratched the car, looked around to see if anybody noticed, saw that nobody noticed, and moved on his way or her way. I don't want to stereotype and say that only a man is capable of committing this crime. But we got to thinking about
it's a man print. I guarantee it's a big fat man. He's got a big hand like Sasquatch.
A really bad bicycle rider. So we got into this hypothetical this morning on our social media. We're asking if a bicyclist is responsible for causing an accident between two cars, who ends up footing the bill for the damages? And Dion said, well, you guys should ask Jeff. So here we are. We're asking you now. If a bicycle is determined responsible for causing an accident between two cars, who ends up, and they don't have that insurance for, because bicyclists aren't required to carry bicycle insurance, who foots the bill for the damages?
Well, if the bicyclist was a homeowner and had a homeowner's policy, what you call a comprehensive general liability policy, that might cover the damage. That doesn't mean, by the way, that you can't bring a claim against that person in court and get a judgment against them. Then ordinary, principles of negligence apply to operating a bicycle and responsibilities on the roadway as they do to a car.
Yeah, right.
So if a bicyclist hits a pedestrian in a crosswalk, it's the same negligence issues apply. If the bicycle runs into a car and causes damage, they apply. It's a practical matter for the owner of the car, who in most cases is likely going to be found to have somebody on the other side that, in your case, like it wasn't identified,
or doesn't have any insurance, it goes straight back to the analysis that we talked about on the air yesterday, that it would go back to your uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, or under the vandalism coverage. So if it's underinsured motorist or uninsured motorist, which somebody on a bicycle would be, then if they didn't have insurance, then then that coverage, however it was written for your policy, would determine whether there was a deductible waiver, that is, you didn't have to pay your deductible, and they otherwise fix your vehicle.
All right. Well, this is good because people get hit by bicyclists all the time, and they just hit and run, and they take off. They leave a scene of an accident. I don't know if bicyclists are just thick and they don't, realize that they've just caused an accident and they're leaving the scene of an accident. You can't do that, right? We talked about that yesterday. You could actually be arrested for that. What about punitive damages? I've spent a lot of time running around, checking security cameras, stressing out over this thing. Do I have a shot at that?
Only if the original act was intentional and willful. Okay. Or malicious.
All right. Well, I don't know if I could prove that. But that's your job. I'll call you.
Okay. Have a great weekend, guys.
If we get those prints lifted.
There goes Jeff Stolberg.
Is he gone?
I think he's still there.
Jeff, are you gone?
I'm here.
One more question, okay?
Sure,
since bicyclists are required to follow the rules of the road, and oftentimes they do not, and we had this discussion, and many people are talking about this on our Facebook page right now, how come bicyclists aren't required to carry insurance like a car driver would be if they're considered vehicles that use the road?
Well, because of the potential for injury, a car, by virtue of the fact that it's mechanized and its size and weight, almost certainly if you hit someone with it, it's going to cause injury or death. If you run into a building or otherwise, or another vehicle, it's almost certain to cause damage more than the average person can afford to just pay out of pocket.
Okay.
And so it's a matter of public policy. And frankly, I think when the rules were made, a lot more people were on the were in motor vehicles, and a lot fewer in bicycles. And actually, if you look at it, the incidence of bicyclists causing injury, damage, loss, or harm to other people is probably far less than bicycles injuring themselves.
Okay. All right.
All right. Cool. Well, there we go. Well, have a good weekend.
Talk to you next week.
All right.
Jeremy writes in.
Pretty good.
Says
good stuff.
This actually happened to his mom. Kid on a bicycle caused another car to drive into her.
Right. She swerved and missed the bicyclist.
She went after the parents of the kid in court and got a settlement. But that took almost a year.
That's what I'm talking about, a settlement. I got all day. I got all year. I got a decade.
Hey, fight the good cause, bro. Fight the good
Jeff
cause.
and Jeremy in the morning.
22-year-old me would love to be alive right now. 42-year-old me thinks that this sounds like a hell of my own making. But the chances of a epic road trip on the West Coast are definitely in line for this whole Eclipse thing that we got going on, and then Burning Man right afterwards. If you go on that Eclipse Festival / Burning Man Festival, that is something you're telling your friends about. Oh, man, back in 2017, I did Eclipse Festival and I did Burning Man.
Yeah, the same person would probably do both, right?
Oh, yes, definitely.
But the problem with Burning Man is, it's not just show up anymore. Like, you have to buy a ticket. It sells
expensive.
out. And it's hard to get into.
So we were asking people yesterday.
Hip now. It's trendy. Hashtag trendy.
It is.
Yeah.
Although they don't have any corporate sponsors, so good for them on that. But the minute they get corporate sponsors, that's when people are like, no.
How do you know this? You looked into it?
Well, you do. You look in. We were looking into the price of tickets one day because it used to be you just showed up. But you can't have it be you just show up anymore because everybody would show up and then you would have 1 million people showing up instead of.
But what's it matter, though? I mean, the whole point of it is everybody shows, right? I mean, now you're in a desert.
I agree. I think it is just absolutely like the people that founded Burning Man should have a huge problem with the fact that it costs $1,000 to go. because that's not what Burning Man was about. It was about going out to the desert with your wastoid friends, doing a bunch of drugs, and falling asleep on somebody's couch in a neighborhood near Reno until the following Wednesday.
Right.
And then waking up and going, oh, God, I guess I got to get back to my tech job in Silicon Valley. But we're asking you, what were the stops of your best road trip ever? What was the best road trip you ever been on? Kat writes in. She says she took her Harley from San Miguel to New York City. She stopped in Butte, Montana, Denison, Iowa, Norwell, Illinois, Long Island, came back down through New Orleans, where she's pretty sure she had sex with an alien. So that's fun. El Paso, Texas, Jerome, Arizona.
Like an illegal immigrant alien, or like one from the stars?
I don't know. New Orleans. It could be anything goes, right? And she pulled into Paso 4.5 weeks later to bike night, and she said that was the most epic trip. And you know what?
I bet she smelled ripe too.
Oh yeah, nothing beats that trip though. Does anything beat that trip? I mean, that is something you will remember for the rest of your life.
If you like riding motorcycles.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me to be in a car and do all that, but.
My most epic road trip, it wasn't even supposed to be that long. We just kept adding days onto it because we were having so much fun. We went from Seattle to South Lake Tahoe to visit some friends. Then my friend got casted on a movie. So we had to take him to San Jose so he could fly back to Seattle to film the shots for the movie. And so
in the middle of your road trip,
in the middle of the road trip. So then ended up staying a night in Alameda of all places. Then hanging out at Great America, going on rides. Midweek Great America is the best amusement park sensation that you will ever experience. I was 23 years old at the time. And
how many were in your crew?
We had 7 of us that were all together. Then, and it was funny because some parents went with us, but then they caught a flight back, so we had to get them down to San Diego, which then made it so.
So you went San Jose to San Diego?
San Jose to San Diego, drove right through San Jose.
So you were living in Seattle, then you drove to Lake Tahoe, and then you drove to San Jose?
Yes,
to
drop off a friend for a flight.
Okay.
Then went down to San Diego because we were dropping off the parents, and then the friend that was doing the shooting up in Seattle rejoined us back down in San Diego 3 days later.
Just to get in the van and keep going.
And our plan was to.
And you were in a van, right?
Yes, we were in a van. We were with no air conditioning in the middle of the summertime, by the way. And our plan was to leave San Diego after one day. But we were having so much fun out at Pacific Beach that we extended the trip 2 more days in San Diego, and we were going to go to Arizona to visit friends in Arizona, which we ended up adding on more days after that. But the reason why we added days is because we didn't have air conditioning in the car, so we had to drive at nighttime. And even at nighttime, it was hotter than hell. Like in Yuma, it was like 102 in Yuma, Arizona.
Oh yeah, you're in the desert.
At
Yeah.
midnight.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just unbearable. But it was the most epic road trip because we ended up adding 10 days on to what the time that we had all blacked out on our calendars. You know, we took time off of work. And, you know, I called work and I said, how much vacation do I have? And they looked it up. They said, you have another 2 weeks of vacation. Okay, I'm using 10 days of it right now. Added on to what I got going on here. It was irresponsible. 23.
And they were okay with that? Like, no, we're counting on you to come back.
It was a joke. Yeah, you can count on me all you want, but you get what you pay for at that point in time, you know?
Well, it sounds like an epic trip. My favorite road trip we ever did was we rented a Class C, like 30-foot RV. I don't know what it was.
This is my second favorite. Yeah.
And we did a road trip down to the Rose Bowl, but it actually took us to San Diego to watch the Chargers and the Seahawks play.
All good road trips go through San Diego.
Spent 3 or 4 days there and then came up. Yeah, no, it was fun. But we had an RV. It was way better. But there was like 12 guys and 1 girl. Or 13 guys and 1 girl. It was way too many people in this RV.
It had bunk beds.
It had bunk beds. It had a couch. It had a table. And there was
some nights people had to sleep in it
had a leaky septic system.
Yeah, that's
on board.
not fun. People in Pacific Beach, we apologize for that. But the funny thing about this was, if you were the last one back from the bars, that evening, you had to sleep in the passenger seat.
Yeah, you didn't get a place
because
to
it was
sleep.
a Class C motorhome that was a rental.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It had the bunk bed or the beds up above.
Yeah. But the passenger seat, like, because there was too many people, and we were like, well, we're splitting the cost. I guess somebody's just going to have to sleep in the passenger seat every night. So if you're the last one back from the bars, you had to sleep in the passenger seat. Oh God, that was just hell. That was hell. Unless you decided you were going to wake up the rest of the RV with the music while you're sitting in the passenger seat. Then hopefully somebody gets mad. They start yelling at you. They leave, and then you take over their bed.
But what's the benefit of having an RV? Obviously, a little bit more space, but the bathroom, right? And we couldn't use the shower or the toilet because
we used it.
Leaked.
We used it.
We didn't use the shower.
It was beer and food storage.
Oh, that's true. That's right. There was no taking showers.
There were some suitcases
the
in
toilet
there
you couldn't use because they leaked.
It was just storage. It just ended up being complete storage, which was fine because it helped aid us in getting a lot of the luggage off the ground.
I remember this.
We could move about the cabin freely.
After 4 days of hanging out in an RV with no bathroom in Pacific Beach, the ring that was around the circumference of the RV when we left.
We called it the Ring of Fire.
Oh my God, 8:31. I'm sure people that go to Burning Man though have some pretty good stories as well.
93.3 KZOZ rocks. Now back to Jeff and Jeremy in the
So
morning.
Dave Grohl says that Tears for Fears got him through his awkward teenage years, puberty.
Very emotional. You're very emotional during those years, right?
You were into this kind of stuff too when you were a teenager. You were telling me this is like the music you would play. Am I wrong? Or?
This is a little bit before my time. I think Dave Grohl may be a little bit older than me.
You were into this alternative 80s.
And I don't think I did like all 80s alternative like my middle school years, but I don't consider my awkward time to be puberty. My awkward time was post high school when it was, like you're out on the dating circuit and you got to do the right things in front of the girls, and then you meet girls, and then you have these relationship with girls, and then they break your hearts, and it's not fun.
Hey, Steve.
Hi.
That's why you go your route and you marry the first girl you meet in high school, and then you don't have to worry about any of it.
And then you listen to other stuff.
Yeah,
like Hootie.
Happy music.
Not Hootie.
Huey.
Not Hootie. No,
Hootie and
Huey. Huey Lewis and the News, baby.
It's all about Hootie and Huey.
That's what I was listening to. This was my teenage years into my 20s, and then I kind of found Hootie again about 35. I saw him at Shoemash, and it changed my life.
See, while you were listening to that.
Hold on. Early in the morning, I'm still in bed.
Let's go fishing.
Having a good time on the other side of town.
Oh, yeah, we listen to this when we go fishing, too.
Yeah.
I got the boat fixed yesterday.
Oh.
Or not fixed, but tuned up.
When I used to soak my sorrows in beers by myself after getting dissed by a girl, or the girl would go home with another guy at the bar, it was full on Counting Crows.
One more. What about you, Steve?
It was all about the long December.
Are you big into music everybody is, right, when you're a teenager?
Absolutely.
God, you just sit there and drink.
Now, remember, Jeff wasn't a teenager. He was, what, your early 20s?
Yeah, early 20s.
I was just 15. I used to just
listen to
drop
this
6 packs left and right at Miller High Life.
Listen to this on repeat.
Wow, guys.
Like 15 times, and you'd start singing along after more and more beers.
Pacific Northwest thing.
Yes, it is.
The Counting Crows?
No, just not being happy.
Yeah, the depression. I think it's a lack of vitamin D.
Yeah, it was the lack of sun. We'd go 90 days all the time.
Just listen to the Counting Crows every day.
Without sunshine. Just cloudy skies. Like when it's here, when we get the marine layer in, 90 days of that. Yeah, you'd be jumping off buildings too.
Wow. See, for me, it was
Instead, we just listened to the Counting Crows and he with us.
I would just listen to Iron Maiden all the time.
It's a good thing.
Rock.
It's a good thing that YouTube was not around when I was going through these times, and I actually had to dig the CDs out and put the CDs into the player.
Did you ever have to actually call up the radio stations, though, and request songs so that you could tape them?
I worked in that field, so I knew that was futile. I knew that
they wouldn't play it.
They were never going to play my songs. Are you kidding me? Because YouTube,
I'd like to make a request.
YouTube could being around, man. You have like the song suggestions on the right hand side, and I'd be like, "Oh, I ain't depressed enough with Long December. Throw me some Tracy Chapman into the mix. Now I could really do it."
It's like a bottle of
I
wild
wouldn't
turkey.
if YouTube existed in my early 20s, I would not even be here talking to you today.
Kids don't know how good they have it.
Good or bad?
Right.
I just see this as like you're driving. This is like a road trip song.
Oh, no, this is...
Windows down, hairs flying
What
in
kind
the
of
wind.
road trip are you on where you're listening to this? A good road trip.
You're crossing America, man.
A good
You're
road
getting to
trip
see
song is going to be like the Dire Straits, dude.
Or Life is a Highway.
No. Well, maybe.
Tom
Okay.
Cochrane.
I'll do Tom Cochrane.
This was my...
That's my ode to Michael Scott.
this was always after a girl broke my heart. This was a very special song. Can you name this song, Steve, from the Wood Humane Society?
No.
Is this Richard Marx?
It is.
Oh,
I was going to say Richard Marx.
How do I know that?
Because you're a fan. You're a closet fan. I knew it. I knew it. Come on. Listen to that saxophone. That's sexy.
Gosh, remind me of never to go on a road trip when you guys are depressed.
No, this was my breakup
You're
song.
like, come on, guys. I'll be like sneaking vitamin D pills. Like
This is all about the girl
your
you met
food.
over the summer.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
This is shallow.
Maybe like a Bon Jovi song.
No, this is about the girl you met over summer and she's gone.
Gosh, you guys.
I could go real deep and go like...
We're making Steve uncomfortable. He's
Catalog-
fidgeting around.
Seriously.
I could go into catalog songs of Toad the Wet Sprocket, and it would blow your mind.
You guys listen to a lot of REM?
Let's grab a call. Hi, you're on the air.
Yeah, this is Joel. How you doing, guys?
Good, Joel.
Hey, Joel.
Good morning.
You ever listen to
Pretty
Richard
de-
Marx?
It's pretty depressing, isn't it, when you lose your girl?
Yeah, absolutely. What would you listen to get you through it?
Right now,
Whenever.
I could any ZZ Top right now.
ZZ
But
Top?
you won't play the stuff that I used to listen to, so it's okay. I don't mind.
That's okay. It's just because we don't like you. That's
we're
all.
sitting here playing Richard Marx, for God's sakes. What got you
Well,
through?
I know, but I'm a lot older than you guys, so it's okay. It's no problem. But I like ZZ Top a lot.
Joel, how old are you?
I'm 70 years old.
Oh, my God. Well, hold
How
on
did
a
ZZ
second.
Top get you through the tough times?
Listen, I respect anybody who's
ZZ Top didn't get me through the tough times. I just love ZZ Top.
I thought it was like...
everybody
I
loves
never
ZZ
had
Top.
any tough times with my girl. We've been
Please.
married 46 years.
He's 70. He can't remember.
What's your secret?
You talk to each other.
Oh, you talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's communication.
You actually have to talk to your
You got it.
Yeah.
We knew everything about each other before we got married.
Well, thank you, Joel. I appreciate. I'm going to play a ZZ Top song for you. Okay, it's probably not the one you like, but I'm going to play one for you anyway.
We're going to guess.
Would you guys want to give me any suggestions for ZZ Top for Joel?
Legs?
You want to do legs? Well, why am I on the wrong page here? Come on, man.
Joel sounded like a sharp-dressed man. Can you figure this one out?
Wait.
Most underrated song that this duo ever did.
Oh, God, You're Out of Touch.
Yes.
Is this Hall & Oates, right?
Yep.
You're out of touch.
And the reason why
out of time.
you never heard Out of Touch is because it was like 7 minutes long. No radio station was touching it. You're like,
Steve.
I thought this was a rock station.
program
It is a
directors-
rock station, but we like leather stuff too. But you always have to listen to rock?
No, I listen to punk and rap and hip hop and
Okay, well, there you go.
Program directors were like, yeah, you're out of touch, Hall & Oates. This is 7
long.
minutes long. This is the remix, though. This is
so it's the 10-minute long version.
the 12-inch remix. This is the dance version.
I'm actually loving this. It's nice to freshen it up a little bit, right? All right, we're going to come back and we're going to talk more with Steve.
By the way, don't try to tell me that Hall & Oates ain't cool. It was on Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Never said they weren't cool.
No, but you're sitting here, you're levying those complaints when you're saying, I thought this was a rock station.
Hey, I'm just calling
ZZ
you guys
Top-
out.
Was ZZ Top on Grand Theft Auto Vice City?
Sounds like you're
I
getting
don't
called
think
out now,
so.
brother. Oh!
93.3 KZOZ rocks Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
We're just having this discussion off the air about the dude from Tears for Fears and how
Everybody rules the world.
Jeremy, when he was looking for the song, he found that the guy has the same haircut that he had back in, was it 85, 86?
Wow.
Yeah, same haircut.
30-year haircut. That's the 30, and it's not an easy haircut to have.
Do you think maybe it's just a wig?
For 30 years. You know, it's that weird, pump. Like there's some preparation that goes into Tears for Fears hair, I mean, that hair is like up on the head, kind of like a poodle that would be hanging out at the
I know.
Humane Society.
I know what you're talking about.
It's right there. It's right there.
Maybe that's all his hair does, though.
That can't be.
It's a mullet.
That doesn't lay.
Yeah,
that doesn't
it is.
lay
It's like
natural.
It's a mullet. It's just a
feathered and
mullet.
lethal. Yeah.
yeah. I'm talking about the guy with the mullet.
Oh, you're not talking about big puffy hair guy.
No, I'm talking about the brunette.
Oh, okay.
This guy. I gotta hold before it changes. This guy right here.
Okay.
This guy.
But that's hard to do.
I think
Yeah,
his
no,
hair
that's
just
very hard to
does
do. I don't know how you do that. You got to use a hairdryer, hairspray.
Up
What?
on top of his head, like over time, maintenance wins out. Maintenance has never won out with from Tears from Fears. Okay, like that guy is like, nope, I know how to do it. Now, probably he streamlined it because he's done it that way for 30 years.
And he probably never has to tell somebody when he goes to the barbershop or whatever how to cut his hair.
Yeah.
Look at me. I've had the same haircut you say for 20 years. That's not quite the case, but it's pretty,
damn close.
Pretty close.
I mean,
your hair, you just used to grow it out, and
I can't think
you
of
look
it.
like a girl from behind sometimes.
I cannot think.
Whoa.
That ate a lot of fast food.
I cannot think of a different. I can't remember you with a different haircut. Like you can remember me with a different haircut, and I don't ever grow my hair out long.
Actually, you're probably right. I used to have wings. I used to feather the sides. I used to grow them out and feather them. But I got rid of that when I got to high school. I said, just cut it short.
Wings.
Because it's a maintenance thing, right?
It's it's a maintenance thing now. This guy with the, look at him here. Yeah, see, he's still got that haircut. It's a little thinner, but it's still there. What is his name? What are the guys' names?
Who cares? They're Tears for Fears guys. One's got puffy hair, the other one's got little less puffy hair.
You see it. You'll see 50-year-old guys with mullets still. You know they've been rocking that for at least 30 years.
So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this the poll question today.
Okay, spell it out for me.
How long have you had the hairstyle that you currently rock?
How long have I had this? I've known you 20 years.
I would say, and your hair was a little bit different when I first met you. And I remember when you said I don't
even remember what it used to look like.
Feather it. And you did used to kind of feather.
Oh yeah, it was feathered over to the side, and
it went well with your leather jacket.
Yeah, it was kind of a Tom Cruise thing.
Yeah,
back in the day,
that's what he thought.
Tom Cruise.
But then once Ryan Seacrest became cool,
shut up.
You switched to this.
I didn't even know who that was.
So I would say
he's trying to say I have Ryan Seacrest's haircut.
I would say you have that haircut for longer than 15 years, which is the low tier answer on this one.
I'd say 20 years is 15. Okay,
you've had it longer than 15 years. So we're asking you the question: how long have you had the hairstyle that you currently rock? Is it less than a year?
What about you?
1 to 3 years, 3 to 7, 7 to 15, or longer than.
Have you always had?
I'm running out of options.
Have you always had that receding part?
The widow's peak. Yeah, I've always had the widow's peak.
Yeah, I mean, as age comes into the fray, you really don't. You can't get
running out of options here, guys.
You're like, what else are you going to do?
I used to have hair that was past my waist.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
I'm not going to do that again.
As you become a responsible adult, 1, and 2, you just stop growing it.
Right.
So we're asking you today, as part of the poll question, how long have you had the hairstyle that you currently rock? I can't believe Tears for Fears, dude. That's
awesome.
Done that for
those are good genes right there.
30 plus years. Well, I don't know about the genes, but the hair, the follicles.
Well,
stonewashed. Yeah, stonewashed jeans.
Yeah, if you're still watching that jean jacket, rocking that jean jacket, I should say.
Rocking the stonewashed jean jacket and the stonewashed jeans.
Then you are really hanging on to 1986.
You got a little bit of a mullet.
Year for Tears for Fears.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KZOZ rocks.
Steve's here from the Woods Humane Society. Brews and Bites is coming up. What is it? Not this weekend. Is it next weekend? No.
2 weeks out. Yeah.
It's 2 weeks out. We're going to be
September
giving away.
2nd.
We're going to be giving away tickets to go to Brews and Bites. By the way, starting on Monday.
Not just tickets, man. You guys got a whole VIP thing going on.
Talk about this because I know that you've been working with the team over here to get this done. We've got a VIP tent.
Yeah.
10 by 20.
Yeah.
And so everybody who wins tickets next week is qualified for the VIP. So if you get the VIP tickets, your drinks are covered, and you get to go in this VIP tent, 10 by 20. We got furniture in there. You have your own brewery.
You do.
In the tent with you.
Does that mean,
only for you, right?
Well, there's so many good beers that are going to be there. Now, Silva is one of the, and they're going to be the brewery that's in the tent with you, right?
Correct.
Then this is the guy that did Green Flash, right?
West Coast IPA. He's the godfather of West Coast IPA.
So you're sitting there with the godfather of the West Coast IPA. This is basically a beer festival experience that parallels none other.
Right.
Because you're sitting there.
You're drinking beer with Chuck.
A luxury suite, essentially, what amounts to a luxury suite with Chuck. And like
listening to music.
Am I a little bit intimidated by that though? If I win, like, what am I going to talk about with this guy that does the beer thing? I mean, what are Chuck's other interests? Do you know?
Beer.
Oh, really? Well, I guess you would learn a lot from about beer.
Well, you could talk beer, yeah.
Now there was talks that,
but you don't have to wait in line either. That's your guy. You drink that all day.
Yeah, you're just like, oh,
boom.
I'll just sit right here and drink beer.
Plus, you get your own butler.
Like if you,
I think we're going to dress Kyle up in a suit.
That's what
you in a bikini, I thought,
or a tux or something. And he's going to take care of you. Yeah.
What you said, it was going to be Jeremy in a bikini?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be Jeremy in a bikini.
What about a singlet?
I don't have any. No, and it's not. That's not happening. I'm very busy that day. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
You're going to be at the event, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be there drinking. I can't be waiting on people.
You actually don't want him to be your butler.
He'd be the worst butler.
He'd be like missing in action for like 2
Did you
hours.
look me up and down like you look up a woman? That was really creepy. Now I know what they're talking about. Stop looking me up and down. Oh my God, that is really gross. God, I'm not going to look at you anymore. God, I wish we were in
I just want you to know what Taylor Swift went through when
come here, big boy.
When Nuge and the douche grabbed her ass.
All right, can you tell me how many breweries you have? I mean, give us an idea. Like what's happening at the event?
Let's just say that there's going to be at least 15.
Okay.
And we have all of our local guys coming out. We have some new local guys coming out. So there's some new breweries that are opening up here in the county that are going to be out representing and pouring their beer. We also, one of the comments that we would receive in previous years was people wanted it to be bigger and bigger and bigger, and we're like, well, we have to work within the confines.
Yeah,
the mission.
There's only so many breweries in
place
town.
To do a beer event, but you can't have it, 80 beers because it's just not the space for it.
Exactly. And
15's a lot.
We were able to
for an afternoon
expand a little
how much
bit.
Beer do you need to drink? Jesus.
Do you even have to ask that question? No, it's really cool. So we've reached out to some of our friends that do have local connections in one way, shape, or another, and we have some outside breweries that are coming in. We have like Lagunitas will be here.
Nice.
Ballast Point's coming up. Carl
Really?
Strauss is going to be here in Coronado. They're coming up as well. Yeah. So, and that's on top of our local guys like Dunbar. Chris is going to be out there. Central Coast Brew, Firestone, Figueroa Mountain.
And every ticket that's sold benefits the Humane Society.
Absolutely, yeah. Plus you have the restaurants. We have a lot of local restaurants that are going to be out. They're going to be slinging. Most of them are participating in the wing competition. So we're basically trying to see who has the best wings in town.
Wings and beer, man.
But, for folks that aren't really like...
football kicks off that weekend.
Yeah.
Right? And
college football.
For the folks that aren't really, necessarily, into the wing side of things, we'll have a few other restaurants that'll have alternate menu options. But, one of the things that I'm doing differently this year with the event is I'm kind of trying to change the dynamic of events as they kind of evolve as a whole. And so not only will you come out, you get your tastes, you get to, participate in the Wing Fest, judge the restaurants, but all the restaurants have the ability to sell a signature item as well. So, Jesse from the Paring Knife is going to be out there. Chefry Jeffrey is going to be out there. We have
Mac and cheese runner-up this year, last year, 2-time winner.
Official chef for the Master Deflators draft night party.
Spikes, Marston's, Mi Hang Lo,
nice.
Fig Mountain's coming out with their food. We have a lot of
got good food
the
too.
new vegetable butcher from downtown Slow. They're going to be over there.
What's the story with that restaurant? Is it just vegetables?
No, there's meat. It's good.
That's
it's
the new
really
one on
good.
Marsh
Terrible
in Broad
name for a restaurant then. I mean,
It's kind of
nothing against the guys that are starting up.
I think that
every time I walk by, I thought, well, is it just a vegetarian joint?
I think that's kind of part of the charm of it, though, because you're like, huh, what's going?
Yeah, I do want to check it out. I'm like,
the food's.
I gotta go see the menu.
I actually went there this week, and the food's on point, man. They have really good tacos. They have really good,
what did you get?
I was just kind of being thrown stuff to try, but so I had.
So they treated you like a dog at the Woods Humantis?
Pretty much. I get treated like that everywhere, though. No, but I tried. It was like a taco. I can't remember. It was like their chicken taco, but it was really, really good. And then I had this like a smoked salmon ball. It was fantastic.
Who doesn't love smoked fish balls?
And then
I'm guessing there was some cheese involved in that too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I mean, you got to go in. It's definitely a unique flavor and a unique taste for downtown Slow.
So, and we got live music at what? 3 bands?
We have 3 bands. So our good friend Matt Cross is going to be out there. Him and Pat from Matt and Pat.
Can you get Calvin Hop? What's his name? Calvin Johnson? What's the DJ's name?
What was his name? Calvin.
Doesn't matter.
Something. I forget what his name.
He's a DJ. Made $48 million last year. I don't know if you can get him, but
you don't want him.
Calvin Harris?
Calvin Harris. Thank you.
God, look at he knows. See, we're an idiot. We're a bunch of idiots,
How do you
Jeff.
know, how do you know who Calvin Harris
He
is?
doesn't know about Calvin Harris.
Well,
The
we
guy's
do
awesome.
now because he made more money than Judge Judy last year.
I love how you compare to Judge Judy.
She's a baller, dude. She made $47 million last year.
You find a way to bring Judge Judy up every single day in the show.
She's a baller. I mean, what are you going to say?
Is that what you watch when you go home?
She's like the highest paid entertainer in the business. It's ridiculous. But anyways.
So we have Guitar Circus, Pat and Matt. We have Dr. Danger, a local like blues rock band. And then my buddies from Pullman Standard are coming up.
That's
too,
right,
so,
Pullman Standard. I'm excited
yeah.
to listen to those guys. All right, so you go to Facebook and you search Brews and Bites.
You can also go to Eventbrite.
Eventbrite, get tickets.
Search for Brews and Bites.
You can buy tickets the day of, too.
You can come out and do the day of.
You get a glass with that. You get how many tastes?
15
tastes. Trust me, that's a lot.
It's enough.
And
it's a lot of food. So the way we have it broken down, we have a package that's the beer and the wings, the beer and the food tasting. You can also get just beer tasting, and you can also get the package number 3, which is just food.
You know what happens to me every year? I always run into people I know, and they always like, oh man, okay, I got to go. And they give me 10 tickets.
What happens to you every year?
I walk out of there with 40 tickets, and I'm like, wait a second, I only started with 15. How do I have 40?
Amateur.
Usually I just find him like leaning against a wall somewhere. Hey,
Finish those tickets off,
Dan. Jeremy, you doing okay? Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, I just need to sit down.
Just holding this wall up.
All right, so Brews and Bites on Facebook. Go to Eventbrite, search Brews and Bites. Do you have any links at woodseymaine.org?
If you go to our website, you can check out information about it by hitting the calendar page.
We have it too, don't we, Jeff? I think it's over there on our page.
Yeah, it's like
it's a super fun event, and it's a great way to close out summer, hanging out in the Mission, just kind of relaxing, listening to great music, having great beer, an amazing food.
Awesome. Don't forget that we're giving away these tickets too next week, and you can get in on that VIP.
I wish I could.
I would enjoy that very much.
I think we should. I think we should try to get one of those satellite guys out there with a TV to put just in the VIP booth. So if you want to watch a little college football, the sound's down because the bands are playing. But if you just want to get an update on your team,
that would be really
depends. I don't know about college football. It's like.
Well, I want to see if the Cougs are playing. I want to see an update.
I don't know if they are, and they play like Montana State. Like it's that opening weekend of college football when all the good teams play the really crappy teams.
Right.
So it's like there's 2 or 3 games, and they're usually on in prime time.
Right.
So go out there and make the main focus the animals, the beer, the music, and the food.
He's are you waiving the fee adoption fee on just black ninja looking cats or all cats?
Yesterday was National Black Cat Appreciation Day, and in celebration of Black Cat Appreciation Day, Woods Humane Society is waiving adoption fees for all of the black-coated cats and kittens at both of our adoption centers in San Luis Obispo and Atascadero. So it's all the black-coated cats that have been getting overlooked, all the black-coated kittens that have been. I mean, who can overlook a black-coated kitten? Come on. They're really cute.
You have kittens, huh? And they're getting overlooked because
the blacker coat, and then they turn into adults, and it's really frustrating. So
people believe that black cats are still bad luck. Is that why?
No,
what do you think it's
I
about?
do. Whenever one crosses my path, I go
You're
the
still
other way.
superstitious, huh?
I'll take a right or a left as soon as I can, or stop on the brakes and turn around and go the other direction. I believe in that. I'm sorry, I'm superstitious when it comes to that.
Black cats are awesome.
Okay, I know they are.
And they get overlooked.
They're just cats.
So what
Unless
we're
they
doing, like
run
I
in
said,
front of you
we're
on the road.
waiving their adoption fees. This is going to go all the way until Sunday. They've all been spayed or neutered, vaccinated, microchipped. They're ready to go to loving new homes. So now's a great weekend to come out and really check out kind of the often overlooked cats that are out there at the shelter. If you've been kind of in the market thinking about getting a cat, now's a great time to do it.
Because they're free.
And I'm gonna say that it's gonna be any black coated cat, any sort of black coated cat, any maybe black coated cat.
That's got black on it.
Bring a Sharpie and put black on it, cat.
Okay.
I mean, if it's an animal that's being overlooked, I'm more than happy to work.
A lot of cats out there right now, right?
There's
They're overflowing with the cats.
We're always full. So
you're looking for a cat.
Come check out all the great cats. You can look at them online at woodshumane.org. But really, you have to come out to the shelter and see them in person, especially if you're looking for a wonderful feline companion. Now's a great weekend to do it.
All right.
Things we didn't get to in hashtag form with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Hashtag McGregor's getting some run here. Apparently, Conor McGregor is the odds are starting to even out a little bit, even though everybody thinks Mayweather's going to win this fight in a couple weeks. Or wait, what is today?
Is he
it's next weekend, right?
Is he as
next Saturday
fast as he used to be?
Conor McGregor or
No,
Mayweather?
Mayweather.
I don't know.
He's 40. I know.
But everybody's throwing money on.
42, and I'm not as fast as I used to be.
Everybody's throwing money on McGregor because the odds are so big. So now it's Mayweather's a 2-9 favorite.
Yeah, now not the time to bet on McGregor. 3 weeks ago
was the time.
Was the time to bet on McGregor. Now you're not going to get as much.
You going to watch this fight? Are you curious, Steve?
No, I don't pay for fights, man.
No, but I'm going to go to somebody's. I'm going to go to a
burned
party
so many times. It's like you throw money down and then there's like 15 seconds of a fight.
I've always wanted to see a UFC fighter take on a boxer, and I just want to see what's going to happen. Is Conor McGregor going to play nice? And he's going to lose.
He's going to go into hurting. That's what he's going to do.
But yeah, if he, and then we'll decide if boxing is dead.
I mean, Mayweather's
when
fast.
he kills him. No, just kidding.
He's fast.
They do get to wear 8-ounce gloves. I saw that.
They're smaller gloves, right?
Well,
I just read they were smaller gloves than normal.
So the way the boxing commission is set up is normally two fighters fighting at this weight class, they have to use 8-ounce glove or 10-ounce gloves. But they both petitioned, and Conor McGregor's like, listen, I'm used to wearing 4-ounce gloves. 10 is quite a big adjustment. And Floyd usually wears 8-ounce gloves when he's in fights. He's just happened to gain a little bit of weight, and he's up, just misses the cutoff. Can we do 8-ounce gloves? They both agreed on it. And the Nevada Boxing Commission, despite it being against the rules typically, they came back and said, yes, you guys can wear 8-ounce gloves, which you say, what's the difference between 10 and 8 ounces? But I guess over the period,
how many punches you're throwing.
Hundreds of punches, that it does make a difference at the end of things.
Well, and Conor McGregor's not used to wearing gloves really much at all. They kind of wear those padded,
that's why the 4-ounce,
knuckle covers.
Yeah. The guy uses at the car
they're
wash
gloves, but they're padded. Yeah, they're not boxing gloves.
Front of your car or something. So I don't know. I still think it's kind of a joke, but it's a joke I want to see. I can't wait to see it.
Hashtag stop Googling yourself. A new study found that 9% of millennials and 11% of Generation Zers. Who's Z? Is that us? No, we're X, right?
Older than millennials, younger than us.
Okay. In between. 11% are Googling themselves. You ever Google yourself, Steve?
That just sounds dirty.
I've done it. I found out that there's a porn star named Jeremy West.
Was dirty, yeah.
Jeremy West it's not just Ron Jeremy. There's a Jeremy West.
There's an artist in the Bay Area with my name.
Is that an artist, like a painter artist?
I think he's a painter. I don't know. He probably hates me though.
Yeah.
He's like somebody that takes his life really serious.
And there's you.
Different mediums that he uses, and then there's me. He's like, how come I'm getting stuff from this guy all the time?
I doubt anybody has the name Kragenberg.
Yeah, it's few and far between, man. Yeah. So
the last thing you want to do is Google
your name. Google me, and it just comes up with pictures of puppies and kittens.
It's you. Yeah. Everything you've ever done, you're like, I don't want to know the truth, man.
Right. It's time to play Know the Show with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. KZOZ.
All right, 9:49. So earlier we were talking about the fact that Dave Grohl said that Tears for Fears got him through his awkward years. Mm-hmm. Jeff said it wasn't his awkward years, it was his 20s. And it was the County Crows.
Yes, long December.
What made Jeff's 20s so awkward for him? 543-3693 are the numbers to get through. 543-3693. You'll win a couple of tickets to go to the Ravine Water Park, if you know. What made Jeff's early 20s awkward for him? All right. Hi, good morning. What's your name?
It's Narcy, Aaron.
What was it about Jeff's early 20s that why he had to listen to the County Crows?
Because he was still a teenager.
In his early 20s? No, that's
yeah.
No. How can you be a teenager in your 20s?
Because he mentioned that, and I just thought maybe I'd get lucky.
I did say it took me a long time to mature. Like I didn't care when I was
But that's not why.
That puberty was not my awkward time. It was more my early 20s that was my awkward time.
We want to know. He said he got through it listening to Long December by the County Crows. We want to know why.
I'll repeat.
What was it? Hi, go ahead. Know the show.
Yeah, he was coming to terms with his sexuality.
That's not correct.
Is that how you put it?
No.
Sure it was. I mean, maybe that's not what you said, but you breaking up with a lot of girls were breaking your hearts.
So you were listening to the Counting Crows,
It was failed relationships. Counting Crows.
The Counting Crows.
That's what it lends to failed relationships. Counting Crows and Long December on repeat.
But so you broke up with Courtney Cox?
No, because she was in the video.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Isn't that crazy?
They were a thing.
That's crazy. She was in that video. They were a thing.
Yeah.
He was a thing with Jennifer Aniston.
I never thought Courtney Cox was hot.
No, that dreadlock guy, Adam Duritz.
All the friends, yeah.
has the girl from Shameless. What's her name? Emmy Rossum. Is that her name?
Yes.
He dated her. He's dated.
Oh, it's like that Fez guy from that 70s show. He nailed all the hot
Adam
chicks.
Duritz, because chicks dig.
Must be a nice guy.
Chicks dig songwriters that are sensitive, and he's a sensitive
messed
songwriter.
up, sensitive weirdos.
Yeah, because he's got issues. I mean, issues upon issues. He's
Well,
like
that makes for good writing.
People magazine.
If you had a nice life, you wouldn't have anything to write about.
Right. No, I mean, the chicks dig him for whatever reason. You look at a guy that looks like he just crawled out of the back of a Volkswagen van, and
he did.
That's the guy.
Mike, are you there?
Yes.
Who did you listen to in your awkward years?
Geez, I don't know, man. I can't really think of awkward years per se that music helped anything with.
Well,
but
they call
I
it
went through
your
phases.
puberty years. I'm just sorry. I'm not using the word puberty. 13
geez, a lot
to
of metal.
16.
Slayer,
There's never been-
Metallica,
Slayer,
Rush.
Metallica.
There's never been a song that has helped you out.
I'm sure there has. My mom passed not too long ago, and there's one song that was playing that kind of helped me through that. And
Well,
stuff,
way
so.
to bring down the room.
What was the song?
Hey, man, tough times, you know? But now
I
I hear that
understand.
song, it has mixed feelings.
What was the song?
Oh, it was an iration song. It just, I don't know, just talks about, how you see things and stuff. So
Is
I don't
Iration
know the name of
reggae?
it.
Are they a reggae band?
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
I listened to Richard Marx' Endless Summer Nights over Jamie Plummer.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
Dick
short-lived,
Marks,
and I loved her. And, well, I thought I loved her. I looked her up on Facebook a few years ago. I didn't miss out on it.
What age was
Thank
it?
God I didn't love her.
What age was
she
that?
didn't love me back.
About what age?
Shoot.
Like you first love, puppy love
13,
kind of?
13, 14,
okay,
something like that, yeah. Yeah. And, it's funny because you bring up your mom dying. When my dad died, they played that Wind Beneath My Wings by Bette Midler. I can never listen to that song ever again.
Well, could you before? But
Well,
still, yeah.
I mean, I could at least tolerate it. Now
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
have to turn it. That, and when my brother died, boy, see how we bring the mood down? That Over the Rainbow by that fat Hawaiian guy that died. Izzy, whatever.
Real, come on,
yeah, I can't listen to that. That'll.
I heard that in a restaurant the other day.
Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
It was
I
on
know.
my anniversary.
It's a great song too. He did a great job with it, but it's my brother's favorite song, and oh god, it's awful. So thanks, Mike. I'm really happy now that it's Friday, and I got some Ravine Water Park tickets for you, or I should say, we both do. So,
What if you did it with a little, island flair to the song that your dad had as well, Don Campbell.
yeah, this is okay. This could bring it back for me. Who is this? Don who?
Don Campbell.
Don Campbell. I like it. All right. I'll put you on hold, Mike. Sounds like you're busy.
Get to that hook.
Yeah, it's all right. Let it roll. Seth doesn't care.
No. This
makes me want to drink
This
a
is the
rum-
Richard Marx song in reggae form?
Rum Punch. No, this is Wind Beneath My Wings.
Oh, okay. God. I don't recognize it either
This
way.
is Don Campbell covering Bette Midler from Beaches.
Rocks.
Oh, dude, wow.
Rock reggae ja roots.
I didn't recognize the words till now.
Yeah. You go to Hawaii a lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know
and-
Don Campbell?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Don Ho. But no, I always listen to this really cool station over there. My wife wants to hear all this kind of stuff. And it's like,
Here
just
comes.
'cause we're
Here it
there.
comes. Hold on. Oh, sorry. You're really bad at queuing up music, Jeff.
You talked over the damn hook.
No, I didn't.
I figured you would know. Yes, I'm
Yes,
trying to back
did-
it up.
did you ever
with-
know
it's
You're My
coming
Hero?
up
I
again.
heard it.
It's coming. Oh, it was coming up again. Oh, there it is.
Stick around. We'll be back to classic rock soon.
He talked over it. Did you hear that? Son of a bitch.
No
He
respect
talked
for
right
Jeremy's
over
dead
it.
father.
God.
Oh, bam. Okay.
All right. Seth is up next. We'll see you back here on Monday. We're giving away tickets to go to Brews and Bites. You could go VIP, have your own 10x20 tent, and your own brewery in the tent with you.
Classic rock on the way with Seth Blackburn.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KCOZ.
When it's time for you
Rocks.